What is up, guys? Welcome back. So happy to have you here. Hope you guys are having a phenomenal week. I hope you're having a phenomenal summer and a restful summer. And I hope to be able to add to it when I say, no, you're not crazy. Yes, things are getting wild out there, but take heart, dear friend, for you have found a spot where you can take a load off, be refreshed and encouraged with a little common freaking sense. I am Chris, Green Beret medic, husband and father.
And I'm Pastor Eric, and I pastor the Journey Church here in central Wisconsin, and would love to share anything and everything of my biblical knowledge with you.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear about it this week. All right, guys, we're going to be talking about the mindset of successful people, part 2 in the big idea. We got who's...
Don't they say part deux? Or whatever that is.
I guess we could if I were French. We got who's who and what's new, and we're going to be keeping the main thing by doing a status check on the church. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to move into the big idea this week, and this is our first opportunity to do a part 2. Last week, we started talking about, part doe, a doe, a deer, a female deer. Last week, we talked about, we started talking about the mindsets of successful people. What makes up the mind of a highly successful person? And we talked about the ability to see yourself objectively. This week, we're going to move into part 2 of that. So here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. So on top of being able to see yourself clearly and objectively, calling a spade, right? The idea that you can't know where you're going until you know where you've been. I would add to that, and I would conject that another thing that makes up the mind of a highly successful person are people that do not allow themselves to become victims in their own mind. Right? They don't
I would agree
they don't
with that.
accept defeat. They don't take no for an answer. I don't know how to do that. I'm going to go learn how to do that. If I don't have that qualification, well, how do I achieve that qualification? They don't see life in cans and cannots. They see life as a series of problems to conquer, right? Well, that just means
conquering.
That just means I have to, complete objective X before I can get to objective Y, before I can finally hit objective Z, right? And I think to me, I think this is one of the more crucial things that makes that makes a person, successful. They don't fall down into that victim trap. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. You also just said something right there that if we're going to track just a little bit in the way that they think, and this is what you said, that they objective A, objective B, objective C, what you just talked about is somebody that thinks linearly. So in order to get something accomplished, they're going to go this straight line. Along with that, if that's the way that you are thinking about something, if that's your rationale and your reasoning, then it is about conquering, and you will not take no for an answer, and defeat is not an option. You may get knocked down. I'm not defeated, if you will. So, there you go. But I wanted to bring that in. You're the one said A to B to Z, or whatever it is that you said. That's linear in your thinking, and so linear goes this way. The only reason why I bring that out is because you have other people that think about things not linearly. What do you mean? What do I mean by that? Well, A doesn't go to B to C. They think like a bowl of spaghetti. This goes underneath that, can bunny trail off to this, can bunny trail off to that, and quite easily they can be defeated, conquered, because the way that they think doesn't lead them along to something that will allow them to achieve and become victorious, shall we say,
right,
or conquering, or to be able to overcome, because everything is so squabbled, and then the thing is just such a huge mess that it can't be conquered, a lot of those people end up walking away. It's easier to start something new than it is to untangle the mess of spaghetti that's in the bowl that they're dealing with. And a lot of it has to do with the way that they think.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. In the military, we have a saying that it's like, it's the power of being an expert at becoming an expert.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we have what we call, oh man, it just like flew out the back of my head. But you have tasks that are to be accomplished, and then along with those specified tasks, there it is. It came back to my head. Along with those specified tasks, I want you to do, X thing. I want you to teach a person how to. What's not going to get me in trouble? How to land navigate, right? How to navigate from one point to another, right? Well, that's a specified task, teaching the person how to do a thing. And then along with those specified tasks comes what we call implied tasks. These are things that you're going to have to do in order to accomplish your specified tasks that I'm not necessarily going to tell you, right? An implied task, an example would be if I'm going to teach a person how to navigate over land, then I need to decide on a place to go practice that. I need to think about like what the weather is going to be like while we're out there. I have things that I'm going to need to pack with me in order to teach this person. There's equipment that we're going to need, like special uniforms and clothing that we're going to need, right? All of these things, those are implied. I'm not going to tell you and line out, because a lot of times I can't line out every little thing that you need to do in order to accomplish the objective, the specified task that I gave you, right? And so that's what makes them implied. Things that you know that you need to do in order to accomplish the objective, right? That I don't have to tell you to do, right?
There's another thing that goes along with that. Along with it, and let's just do a little reminiscing here. Hey, Chris, I need you to pack that bag. And if you responded to me, okay, I'll try, I would say, I don't need you to try. I need you to
succeed.
Succeed.
Right. Papa
Yoda. And when somebody can pop off and talk about, well, what they're telling you is the amount of effort they're about ready to give you. I don't need you to try. I need you to succeed. Different mindset about getting something accomplished, right?
Yeah.
And that mindset is also a part of this. That's the only thing that I wanted to bring up right there, because it just all of a sudden it reminded me of how you gave the implied tasks that were involved in that. But somebody who wants to succeed would ferret out what those implied tasks were. What do I need for this? Well, let me go ask my buddy who's been on one of these before, and find out what it is that we did well, what it is that he didn't do, and if he could have changed something, what would that have been? I just ask him the questions, pick his brain, and hopefully you've chosen a good person. If you're not sure you chose a good person, you choose two more people to answer the same question to see if you're going to get roughly about the same thing. So that way and you're doing all that so that you can succeed. You're ferreting out. Here's another thing about people who achieve. You're ferreting out your blind spots.
Mm-hmm.
And so that because you don't know what you don't know. So that's one of the things you got to go learn. But again, it's the attitude. Well, I want to. People who automatically walk into it, I'm just going to try. You automatically know they're going to give you a half-hearted effort. Right. Because they're not into achieving, they're into showing up. That's good enough for them.
Yep. And then what's even worse on the other side of a person that says like, well, I'll try, of giving the half heart, is well, I can't because of whatever reason, right? Like,
you've already finished the race. If you say I can't, right. You're done. You're cooked.
To be fair, we're not talking about like, go dunk that basketball. Listen, dude, I'm 5'2". I can't. That's not what we're talking about.
Not what we're talking
right?
about.
But we are talking about like, hey, go accomplish this task. Back to my go teach so and so how to do a thing. Well, I can't. Well, why can't you? Well, because. And then you start, here come the excuses. Yep. Like, excuses. I don't have the equipment to do so. That sounds like a problem you could solve. I don't know where to take him. That sounds like a thing that you could go figure out, right?
What's the only dumb question?
I was just getting ready to bring that up. The only dumb questions are questions that you already know the answer to or can figure out yourself.
Figure it out.
Right? No matter what anybody tells you, yes, there is a such thing as a stupid question. And please don't waste people's time by asking stupid questions. We don't have time for you.
Right.
But in wrapping it up today, I think we covered a lot of ground, like really quick, and some of that
we covered a ton.
Yeah, that's a lot to digest. But I really do. This is something that I have found to be very, very poignant. And especially when I'm dealing with like younger people in my organization and like trying to bring them up and instill a sense of leadership in them specifically, because a lot of these things we're talking about leadership qualities as well. Is that ability? We, like I said, be an expert at becoming an expert. Don't let things get in your way. Don't have a victim mindset and be caught in the I can't trap. I think that this is probably the most important thing, the most important quality that will help you be successful, not just at your job, but in life in general.
Yeah, well, I do know this. It's the fastest way to promotion. Business owners, military, anybody, they will promote people who will end up learning how to do this and go, oh, I know that. They bring the attitude, they bring their A game, they ferret things out, they get things accomplished without somebody having to tell them.
That's the thing, and without somebody having to look over their shoulder.
That's a big deal.
I hope you guys enjoyed that this week. We're going to do one more in this series, The Mindsets of Successful People. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. Go ahead and follow the link tree up above or down in the description. Like the video. Please share it and help us grow the channel. And we hope to see you guys back here next week on The Big Idea.
We'll be back on The Big Idea.